Today is our second day in Xi'an. The four of us came to the Muslim quarter and accidentally discovered some. There's a super popular restaurant called Lao Ma's Mo that always has a long line. Turns out many of the people in line are actually fake customers, paid actors. In mainland China, there's a slang term, tuō'er, which refers to people hired to lure others into being scammed or tricked. This woman said that around 4 p.m. on the 16th, they visited Gaojia Courtyard in Xi'an. Right next to it was Lao Ma's Mo shop. When they saw the long line outside, they figured the food must be good, so she filmed a quick video to share with friends. Later, they came back around 5 p.m., passing the same shop again. She casually filmed another video and joked with her friends, could those people in line be fake? To their surprise, they actually were. She said in the video, I compared the two videos from 4 and 5 p.m. and found 4 people who were exactly the same. Same clothes, same shoes, exactly the same. It was super obvious. The next day, on the 17th around noon, she and her friends went back to the same shop. They spotted the same fake customers still there. They secretly followed one of them. After finishing his time in line, he walked around, returned the sandwich, and then got back in line again. In her video, she called on the Xi'an government to take this seriously and not let other customers be misled. She said, while we were standing there, so many people around us were saying, wow, look how many people are lining up, it must be good. But we don't actually know if it's good. One sandwich costs 15 yuan, which is expensive, and they even hire people to line up like this. It's totally unreasonable and messes up the fairness of the market. The video showing Lao Ma's shop using fake customers went viral. People online said, this totally happens in Xi'an. I've been scammed before. Looking back, only Xi'an treated me like this. Others added, it's not just Xi'an. Many touristy cities in China have internet-famous shops that hire fake customers. Same old trick. Back when real estate was booming, people were paid 200 yuan per appearance to line up at new property launches, with lunch and bottled water included. In recent years, both the restaurant and real estate industries in China have been struggling. To keep up appearances, some restaurants pay people to act like business is booming. Many live streamers and influencers are participating. How do influencers trick consumers these days? Let's watch this video.
A whole big bag of spicy duck intestines for just 6.8 yuan. My friends, today there's a special half-off deal just for you. Wow, look at this. Such good quality duck intestines. Only 6.8 yuan today. A full big bag.
I already bought the same product. Let's open it and see how much duck intestine is actually inside. Is this all you get? I even found a bowl about the same size as the one in the video and poured it in. Look at this. It's a tiny amount, but in the video, you made it look like it was a huge bowl. Isn't this just misleading marketing? How is it different from a scam? Honestly, if you gave me this for free, I wouldn't dare eat it. Influencers like you, I'll report every single one I see. People in the comments were showing a lot of support. One person wrote, the duck intestines in the ad looked super fresh and colorful. It really made you want to eat them. But the real thing looked rotten and spoiled. It made me want to throw up. Another person said, my husband bought a robot vacuum and it was barely the size of a salad plate. Someone else added, now you know why I deleted the Pinduoduo shopping app. Some commenters shared that these kinds of scams are becoming more and more common. Not only are regular people falling for them, but even celebrities and influencers are getting tricked too. There was a popular food creator on Bilibili named Da Xiangge. He recently posted a video saying he was scammed out of tens of millions of yuan by a so-called business tycoon, leaving him hundreds of thousands in debt. His story even made it to the top of the trending list. Back in 2019, the blogger Da Xiangge went viral with a video called Spending 6,000 yuan to eat king crab. In just 1 year, his annual contract fee jumped from 250,000 yuan to 1.2 million. After that, he started going to all sorts of fancy banquets. Slowly, he found himself surrounded by rich kids and supposed industry elites. They kept treating him like he was part of their inner circle. He started thinking he'd made it to the upper class and lost all sense of caution. Spending hundreds of thousands of yuan didn't even faze him anymore. Seeing how lavish their lives were, he wanted to earn more money. That's when someone introduced him to a businessman in Shanghai who owned several restaurants. This was the first step on the road to his financial disaster. He visited this man's home and restaurants. To him, the 500 square meter luxury apartment in downtown Shanghai, complete with a Filipino maid and 3 restaurants that were always packed, all made it look like this guy had something going on. On top of that, the man was surrounded by celebrity friends who kept showing off their wealth. Da Xiangge became more and more impressed. So when this guy said he wanted to open a new restaurant in Beijing, Da Xiangge was the first to jump in. Without doing any research, and without even signing a contract, he immediately immediately transferred 2.4 million yuan, just based on a verbal promise. Later, the man asked for another 2 million yuan to show as registered capital for the business, but after that, there was no follow-up. In 2022, this so-called businessman convinced him to get 6 friends to invest a total of 6 million yuan into another big opportunity. Then he made up excuses, saying the pandemic caused losses, loan sharks were after him, and kept borrowing more. In the end, he disappeared, taking a total of 12.5 million yuan from Da Xiangge and his friends. At the same time, Da Xiangge's income from social media dropped drastically. To pay back the 7 million yuan he had personally guaranteed and convinced his friends to invest, he had to ask his family for help. His entire family did everything they could to come up with the money. He even had to sell his Maybach just to cover part of the debt. His grandmother handed over her entire life savings, 1.2 million yuan. Sadly, she passed away in February this year. Right now, Da Xiangge doesn't even have a car anymore. After spending everything his family had to pay off debt, he's still left with over 3 million yuan that he owes. Some people online said he was actually tricked into a restaurant investment scam, specifically one of these high-end franchise scams. That so-called rich kid he trusted was just a hired actor. Another person who used to work as a fake customer shared their experience and explained how these scams work. They said restaurant franchise scams in China usually charge tens of thousands of yuan in franchise fees alone. On top of that, you have to buy special equipment and pay for renovations, which also cost tens of thousands. So once you're in, you could lose anything from a few 100,000 to over 1 million yuan. Now let's talk about how these scams actually work. Today I want to talk to you about the truth behind these restaurant franchises. I know because I used to be one of the fake customers. I didn't mean to scam anyone, but the boss promised us an extra 20 yuan per job. She explained that the main victims of these scams usually fall into 3 groups: middle-aged couples in their 40s, moms who have just had their second child, and college students trying to start their own business. Why do these people fall for it? Because they see viral videos online showing how successful these food businesses look, and they get tempted on the spot. She said the project she worked on was about rice balls. The outside was wrapped in seaweed, then a layer of purple rice, and inside was some shredded pork, corn, and a bit of salad dressing. The franchise company would rent a food stall in a busy food court, but the stall wasn't there to sell anything. It was just there for filming videos. Once a week, they'd take half a day to film. In just a few hours, they could shoot 20 to 30 videos. What people saw in these videos were super long lines of customers, all lining up to buy rice balls, but it was all staged. The company would set up a group chat with locals, people living nearby or running shops in the area. Then, the day before filming, they sent out a message saying something like, "Tomorrow, rice balls will only cost 1 yuan. Come grab them at noon." So when it was time to shoot, everyone would show up, making it look like business was booming. The people filming would walk around capturing footage with their phones. In just one afternoon, they could get 30 or 40 different video clips. Then they'd go back, do some basic editing, and add a short caption like, "I used to be a stay-at-home mom and life was tough, but after I joined this rice ball franchise, I became the breadwinner of the family. Even my husband wants to join me now." People watching these videos would then see comments from other moms saying things like, "I want a life like yours. I want to support my family too." Or, "This business looks amazing. I want to join." The person said that the video marketing team each had 4 or 5 phone numbers. Each phone number could register on 3 different social media platforms. That means every person was running 10 or more accounts. As long as they hooked one interested person, they made money. They'll ask you for your phone number and contact information. Then someone from the company, a trained salesperson, will reach out and try to convince you to join the franchise. They call this step conversion. One person left a comment saying, "From a Chinese point of view, if something really makes money, you either keep it to yourself or do it with close relatives. No outsiders getting in on that. Even the closest outsider can't compare to family." Another person commented that the luxury restaurants that influencers from Bilibili saw, all packed with customers, was probably part of the same setup. He probably thought they really treated him like family. But the most vulnerable people are often the ones who suddenly get rich and jump into unfamiliar industries. They think success will keep coming just as fast, and that overconfidence is dangerous. Then another person shared their story to warn others. If you've never worked in the food business before, don't rush into a franchise.
This restaurant right here used to be my place. It was a rice bowl shop called Mi Yo Ban Fang. Let me show you inside. The headquarters picked this location for me. I was a total newbie, and I got fooled. I decorated the place myself. Some people asked why the renovations cost so much. Let me show you. It's over 260 square meters in total. This is my office. But after just 4 months, the shop shut down. I lost more than 500,000 yuan on this place.
Some people in the comments didn't understand. They said, why not go with the real Mitsuen rice bowls? Why pick a knockoff brand? Someone else said, this is the first time I've heard of someone opening a small fast food shop and renting a whole 3-story building with a staff lounge and a private office for the owner. Others joked, first-time entrepreneurs love having their own office, tea room, and tea table. The boss upstairs is drinking tea on the 3rd floor, staff are playing video games on the 2nd floor, and customers downstairs are heating up pre-made meals. In recent years, as more restaurants tried to build franchise chains, scams in the restaurant franchise world have become more common, especially milk tea shop scams. You'll see stories all over social media like, a couple selling milk tea from home made $1 million in a year, Gen Z opened a milk tea shop in a school cafeteria and earned $1 million, or someone opened a milk tea shop in a small town and brought in over $1 million. But behind these flashy headlines are often teams running recruitment scams. A lot of people end up investing tens or even hundreds of thousands of yuan only to fall into their trap. So-called quick sell companies are businesses that build up quickly to make it seem like a hot new product. They use all kinds of tricks to promote it, attract a flood of franchisees, and collect huge fees. But once they've taken the money, they provide little or no support afterward. These companies often register multiple businesses and borrow the reputation of well-known brands to promote themselves. As soon as the hype around one product fades, they repackage it to a new hit brand and do it all over again. In March 2024, an entrepreneur in Jilin said he joined a new tea brand that claimed to be a sub-brand under Mishra ice cream. He was told that each store would get 30,000 yuan in government subsidies. He paid 250,000 yuan to become a regional agent for 2 areas, but ended up losing 600,000 yuan. When he tried to get his franchise fee refunded, they refused. The case is now in court. There was also the infamous Cha Zhilan tea franchise scam that shook the restaurant industry. A company in Shanghai called Wanyu Group used 24 brand names like Taipu Milk Tea, Cha Yan Guanyan, and Cha Zhilan to scam over 5,800 people across China. They stole more than 440 million yuan, and the total amount involved reached 700 million yuan. In the end, 69 members of the group were sentenced to prison, ranging from 5 to 14.5 years, and fined between 50,000 and 500,000 yuan. These franchise scams aren't very sophisticated. Most of them rely on people's desires to get rich quickly. After facing pay cuts or layoffs, many people want to run a small business to earn more money, maybe a milk tea shop, a fried chicken stand, or snack store. Scammers take advantage of this mindset. They use catchy slogans like low investment, high return, fast payback, and create companies that claim to be franchise opportunities but are actually scams. You'll often see ads like a small noodle shop earning 500,000 yuan a month, or a young woman opens a barbecue restaurant and achieves financial freedom. These stories are designed to hook people emotionally. These scams usually follow the same pattern. First, they claim to be connected to a big name brand and say their own brand has huge growth potential. Then, once they've milked the brand for all it's worth, they disappear and start over with a new name. Some quick sell companies even hire celebrities to endorse their brands or pay people to line up in front of stores to fake popularity. One milk tea brand printed tons of promotional materials, and when potential franchisees came to check out the shop in person, they hired fake customers for 40 to 80 yuan per day to line up outside and make the place look like it was booming. These non-stop scams have badly damaged the franchise industry. The word franchise has lost its credibility, and to many people has become another word for getting ripped off. However, the private sector's chain franchises and scams are not at the same level as the scams run by the CCP government itself. During this year's 2 sessions, Zhao Zhao, a female delegate from Nanyang, Henan, gave an impassioned speech to CCP state media, claiming that after graduating from university, she returned home and built a startup legend by raising 4,000 cattle. This video has been circulating on social media for days, with netizens criticizing her for boasting without a script and creating a story with no common sense. Some mockingly referred to the party's media creation of the startup legend as a sign of the CCP's great leap forward in the new era. Based on rough estimates, raising 4,000 cattle in China would cost nearly 100 million yuan in initial capital. A netizen in the cattle farming industry posted a video mocking the party media. Ordinary people don't need to learn Zhao Zhao's entrepreneurial process because raising cattle isn't difficult. What they should learn is how she, after just graduating, managed to secure the startup capital. Later, Zhao Zhao claimed in an interview that she started with only 50 cattle, then formed a cooperative with many other farmers joining, gradually reaching a scale of 4,000 cattle. However, a curious individual checked public business records and found that Zhao Zhao's cooperative was only established on March 11th of this year, the very same day the CCP National People's Congress closed, with a total investment of only 500,000 yuan. While Zhao Zhao bragged about raising 4,000 cattle, several cattle farmers online shared videos complaining that they're losing money raising cattle and have nothing left but tears. In a video, a woman shared, earlier a cow could sell for 17,000 to 18,000 yuan, but now it's only 5,000 to 6,000. Last year, I took a loan to raise fat cattle hoping to make some profit, but the price kept dropping. I lost over 100,000 yuan and can't repay the loan. The CCP government has enclosed the mountain forests and charges fees for cattle grazing. They charge 600 to 700 yuan per cow. Life is really hard for ordinary people. In fact, all that Zhao Zhao proudly mentioned during her speech at the NPC are all exaggerated lies. The purpose of the Zhao Zhao scam is twofold. First, Zhao Zhao has become a successful model of university students returning to their hometowns to start businesses, and she is now a well-known figure in Nanyang, Henan. Second, her story aligns with the national talent strategy, especially in an era of high unemployment and low job prospects. Zhao Zhao is used as an example of leading other farmers to prosperity, to trick and guide unemployed university students into starting businesses in rural areas. This kind of low-quality propaganda, which lacks details and only focuses on slogans, is worse than franchise scams, but the CCP doesn't care about being exposed. This is because CCP officials know that the CCP itself is the biggest scam organization.